The new form N400, a version with 37 yes-no questions. Most asked 45 vocabulary definitions and yes-no questions to help you learn and memorize easily. Register. Vote.
Have you ever registered to vote or voted in any federal, state, or local election in the United States?
No.
What does register mean? What does register mean?
To sign up. To sign up.
Do you know what vote is? Do you know what vote is?
To elect new leaders. To elect new leaders. Weapon.
Were you ever a part of any group, or did you ever help any group, unit, or organization that used a weapon against any person or threatened to do so?
No.
Have you ever sold, provided, or transported weapons, or assisted any person in selling, providing, or transporting weapons which you knew or believed would be used against another person?
No.
What does weapon mean? What does weapon mean?
Like a knife or gun. Like a knife or gun. Bear arms.
If the law requires it, are you willing to bear arms on behalf of the United States?
Yes.
Do you know how to define bear arms? Do you know how to define bear arms?
To own or use a gun. To own or use a gun. Overdue. Owe taxes.
Do you currently owe any overdue federal, state, or local taxes in the United States?
No.
Can you explain what owe taxes means? Can you explain what owe taxes means?
To owe the government money. To owe the government money.
What is overdue? What is overdue?
Past a deadline. Past a deadline. Work of national importance. Civilian direction.
If the law requires it, are you willing to perform work of national importance under civilian direction?
Yes.
Do you know what work of national importance means? Do you know what work of national importance means?
Tasks that are important to a nation. Tasks that are important to a nation.
Can you explain what civilian direction is? Can you explain what civilian direction is?
A direction from a person who is not in the military. A direction from a person who is not in the military. Torture.
Have you ever ordered, incited, called for, committed, assisted, helped with, or otherwise participated in torture?
No.
What does torture mean? What does torture mean?
To hurt someone physically. To hurt someone physically. Cited. Confined. Charged.
Have you ever been arrested, cited, detained, or confined by any law enforcement officer, military official in the U.S. or elsewhere, or immigration official for any reason, or been charged with a crime or offense?
No.
What does cited mean? What does cited mean?
Given a ticket by police. Given a ticket by police.
What does confined mean? What does confined mean?
To be kept in a place. To be kept in a place.
Do you know what charged means? Do you know what charged means?
Police tell you that you did something illegal. Police tell you that you did something illegal. Claim to be a U.S. citizen.
Have you ever claimed to be a U.S. citizen in writing or any other way?
No.
Can you define what claim to be a U.S. citizen means? Can you define what claim to be a U.S. citizen means?
To state you are a U.S. citizen. To state you are a U.S. citizen. Immigration benefit.
Have you ever married someone in order to obtain an immigration benefit?
No.
What is an immigration benefit? What is an immigration benefit?
Things like a visa, green card, or citizenship. Things like a visa, green card, or citizenship. Non-resident alien.
Since you became a lawful permanent resident, have you called yourself a non-resident alien on a federal, state, or local tax return, or decided not to file a tax return because you considered yourself to be a non-resident?
No.
What is a non-resident alien? What is a non-resident alien?
A person who has not passed the green card test. A person who has not passed the green card test. Hereditary title. Order of nobility.
Do you now have or did you ever have a hereditary title or order of nobility in any foreign country?
No.
Do you understand what hereditary title means? Do you understand what hereditary title means?
A royal title like prince or princess. A royal title like prince or princess.
What is order of nobility? What is order of nobility?
Like king or queen. Like king or queen. Genocide.
Have you ever ordered, incited, called for, committed, assisted, helped with, or otherwise participated in genocide?
No.
Can you explain what genocide is? Can you explain what genocide is?
To kill a whole race. To kill a whole race. Weapons training. Military type training.
Have you ever received any weapons training, paramilitary training, or other military type training?
No.
Can you explain what weapons training means? Can you explain what weapons training means?
To learn how to use a gun. To learn how to use a gun.
What is military type training? What is military type training?
Learning to fight in combat. Learning to fight in combat. Communist Party.
Have you ever been a member of, involved in, or in any way associated with any communist or totalitarian party anywhere in the world?
No.
Do you know what Communist Party is? Do you know what Communist Party is?
Like China, North Korea. Like China, North Korea. Smuggle. Controlled substances. Illegal drugs or narcotics. Drug paraphernalia.
Have you ever manufactured, cultivated, produced, distributed, dispensed, sold, or smuggled any controlled substances, illegal drugs, narcotics, or drug paraphernalia in violation of any law or regulation of a U.S. state, the United States, or a foreign country?
No.
Do you understand what smuggle means? Do you understand what smuggle means?
To take things to a country illegally. To take things to a country illegally.
Can you explain what controlled substances means? Can you explain what controlled substances means?
You can buy it with a prescription, but with restrictions. You can buy it with a prescription, but with restrictions.
What does illegal drugs or narcotics mean? What does illegal drugs or narcotics mean?
Like heroin or cocaine. Like heroin or cocaine.
Do you understand what drug paraphernalia is? Do you understand what drug paraphernalia is?
Equipment to make illegal drugs. Equipment to make illegal drugs. Procure. Prostitute.
Have you ever engaged in prostitution, attempted to procure or import prostitutes or persons for the purpose of prostitution, or received any proceeds or money from prostitution?
No.
What does procure mean? What does procure mean?
To find someone for sex. To find someone for sex.
Can you explain what prostitute means? Can you explain what prostitute means?
Someone who has sex for money. Someone who has sex for money. Military unit.
Have you ever served in, been a member of, assisted, or participated in any military or police unit?
No.
What is a military unit? What is a military unit?
A group that works for the government. A group that works for the government. Public benefit.
Have you ever made any misrepresentation to obtain any public benefit in the United States?
No.
Can you explain what public benefit is? Can you explain what public benefit is?
Welfare, like food stamps. Welfare, like food stamps. Oath of allegiance.
Do you understand the full oath of allegiance to the United States?
Yes.
Are you unable to take the oath of allegiance because of a physical or developmental disability or mental impairment?
No.
Are you willing to take the full oath of allegiance to the United States?
Yes.
What does oath of allegiance mean? What does oath of allegiance mean?
A promise to be loyal to the United States. A promise to be loyal to the United States. Detained. Prison or jail. Detention facility.
Have you ever worked, volunteered, or otherwise served in a place where people were detained? For example, a prison, jail, prison camp, detention facility, or labor camp? Or have you ever directed or participated in any other activity that involved detaining people?
No.
What does detained mean? What does detained mean?
Held in custody by police. Held in custody by police.
Can you explain what prison or jail means? Can you explain what prison or jail means?
A place where prisoners are kept. A place where prisoners are kept.
What is detention facility? What is detention facility?
A place where people are forced to stay. A place where people are forced to stay. Gamble.
Have you ever gambled illegally or received income from illegal gambling?
No.
Can you explain what gamble is? Can you explain what gamble is?
To play a game for money. To play a game for money. Non-combatant services.
If the law requires it, are you willing to perform non-combatant services in the U.S. Armed Forces?
Yes.
What are non-combatant services? What are non-combatant services?
Services that do not involve combat. Services that do not involve combat. Commit a crime. Crime. Offense. Arrested.
Have you ever committed, agreed to commit, asked someone else to commit, helped commit, or tried to commit a crime or offense for which you were not arrested?
No.
Do you understand what commit a crime means? Do you understand what commit a crime means?
To do something that breaks the law. To do something that breaks the law.
What does offense mean? What does offense mean?
A minor crime. A minor crime.
Can you explain what crime means? Can you explain what crime means?
An action that breaks the law. An action that breaks the law.
What does arrested mean? What does arrested mean?
Handcuffed by the police. Handcuffed by the police. Constitution. Form of government of the United States.
Do you support the Constitution and form of government of the United States?
Yes.
Can you explain what Constitution is? Can you explain what Constitution is?
It is the supreme law of the land. It is the supreme law of the land.
What does form of government of the United States mean? What does form of government of the United States mean?
Republic. Republic. False.
Have you ever given any U.S. government officials any information or documentation that was false, fraudulent, or misleading?
No.
Can you explain what false is? Can you explain what false is?
Not true. Not true. Lie.
Have you ever lied to any U.S. government officials to gain entry or admission into the United States, or to gain immigration benefits while in the United States?
No.
Do you know what lie means? Do you know what lie means?
To say something that is not true. To say something that is not true. Dependent. Pay alimony.
Have you ever failed to support your dependents or to pay alimony?
No.
What is dependent? What is dependent?
Someone who relies on another person. Someone who relies on another person.
What does pay alimony mean? What does pay alimony mean?
To pay money to ex-spouse after a divorce. To pay money to ex-spouse after a divorce.